Very successful event for it being the first one. Those of you who came last night, got to see there was a lot of people. So some of you didn't get to really see the artwork, but when you get there, you will be very pleased. I mean, the amazing work that's there, you can't even believe. So it's all about learning and communicating. This is about art in general, but especially black art, because that's what we have here. Varieties. I don't know if everybody got to see the exhibit yet, but if you have not, when we're done, I'll give you an opportunity to walk around the room. There are going to be topics that are a little bit controversial, but not disrespectful. We may not all agree, but that's part of being human, right? We're not going to agree on everything. But it's about, again, learning and growing together as a unit, no matter what culture, race, or belief that we have. So again, I thank you. I'll give you a little bit of history about this whole session of work. Collaboration is a unit of artists that my husband and I, and Barbara Cheeves, and another young lady named Mia Jefferson came up with. Kind of after those of you who knew about Sankofa, those of you who were part of that entity, and then some of you who knew about Kumba down in Delray. It was kind of the merging of those two entities. And we started it literally out of our house in West Palm in the Northwood District. And it allowed artists to communicate with the network of people who were buying their work. And we just saw all these artists who are living artists. That's the big deal, they're living artists. We know a lot of well-known African-American artists and Caribbean artists who are deceased. These are all artists who are alive, literally from ages 20-something to, we won't say the oldest, because I don't think they would appreciate that. But older artists, and they're all living. Actually, no, it's not you. Paintings, quilts, tapestry, jewelry, sculpture, you name it, it's here. I want to thank the Armory for allowing us to do this. I want to thank the Deltas for helping me with the lunch and lecture series. Thank you, Sonia Kelly, who led the troops and helped me to put the hosting part of this together. Smooth Bounce. DJ Thought, who's a lovely man. He always pulls through for us in a pinch. I want to also thank my alumni in New York, my high school alumni, who was allowing for my volunteers to be able to have lunch with us and not just sit there and watch us. So my school, Cardinal Spellman High School in the Bronx, I had a bunch of alumni that just came and said, you know what, we're not there, we're going to support you, whatever you need, we got you. I want to thank Idle Cuts Barbershop, who provided some of the gifts that's going to be in the gift bags for the lunch and lecture people. I want to thank Miss Jessie Hair Products, because they also helped out. Creme de la Creme, those of you who were here last night got to taste the beautiful food that they presented for us. I want to thank them. I want to thank the West Palm Beach Library, who supported me as well. Joyrides. I don't know if you guys got to utilize that service. They're based in, like in the West Palm Beach area by Clematis. If you need to get around within, I think they said 15, it's actually 15 mile radius around the area. You want to park your car and kind of get around, but you don't feel like walking, you don't feel like dealing with the trolley and all those people on there. You can give them a call and they'll pick you up and take you to your destination. So I want to thank them. I want to thank Harold's Coffee House, who always supports me. They were another sponsor, allowing my peoples to eat who couldn't do it otherwise. Cityside Sweets, who's helped us in a lot of projects and getting the word out. And Her Life Magazine, who, those of you who are there.
My name is Cheeves. I'm one of the artists in this wonderful show collaboration. I feel like a grown-up hanging amongst all these wonderful artists here. I'm a fiber artist. If you haven't seen yet, my work's hanging on the other side of that wall and around my neck. So I'm going to ask the panel, and from the other end, you will just tell us your name and your affiliation, if you are an artist or the affiliation that you're here in. Just a really quick introduction.
Glaze, art education, but also administrative coordinator for Ophthalmologist School of the Arts.
I'm JaFleu, I'm a painter.
I'm Lupe, I'm a painter.
I'm James Rush, photographer, natural light photographer. I own a business called Lowe, and I'm an ex-wife.
I'm Dr. Catherine Lowe. My profession is an eyes physician and surgeon. Art showcase the Palm Beaches over the historic Jenkins house, and then on the Palm Beach County Cultural Council and on the State of Florida Arts Council.
Hi, my name is Nzingah. I'm a missionary artist and artist educator. art educator.
James Venable, a filmmaker and educator.
Ronnie Cruz, I represent Black Art in America. It's the largest social online registry of artists collaborating.
Okay, so I'm just going to open these up to anybody who wants to answer, unless there's something specific or unless I feel like somebody hasn't been contributing, and then I'll call you out. So we'll start with, what do you consider traditional black art, if it exists? What is this thing called black art?
That's where Black Art in America is coming from. That black art is what we like. It's not particularly the color of the artist or what they're doing, but it's how we see the world, the images and sensibilities that our community has, because we have a lot of controversy on this. People keep saying, well, why do you call it black art and not just art? So to answer that is because we address the African American community, and we address what they like. And we pretty much know because there's numbers on our pages, and when we put up a photo, they'll chime in and we get likes and we get comments, so we know what people of color like. And that's basically what we're considering black art to be, is what the community likes.
My name is James. I'm saying somebody likes my work and, this and that. But I had to come to bear with that too, that question as well. Who am I? What do I do? What's my call? I found it's expressing myself. How do I express myself? With my camera. What that does is actually it puts everything that I try to please people with out of the way. It's just my natural expression. I can't draw, so I picked up a camera, basically. But I tried it, because I was in art classes. But the thing is, what is black art? I think it's done by black people, and it has to do with our experience, that is of the diaspora. If you read this is great. Nick's did a great job on this. But it's basically our expression, spiritual expression. This is the highest expression. You got physical, you got mental, you got spiritual. This is our highest expression as people that have been separated from the mother country, the continent, going through all this trouble, that Middle Passage, the whole slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, the whole thing. What is our experience? It's right here. Now, some are going to go move closer to the motherland, which Nick's is talking about. It's not about looking primeval or, Afrocentric to the, kente cloths and kufus and all that stuff. It's about your expression according to what you've experienced in this.
The word I use, art is life and life is art. So art is all around us. Someone who grew up out in the Glaze and a native Floridian here in West Palm Beach, I would definitely say we've come a long ways as far as what, let's say, like art. I call it culture. One who, coming here in the 80s when there was nothing but the Kravis and where there was really no culture whatsoever here in Palm Beach County, even when the Army Art Center was just a light wall and spiderwebs. And I remember a couple of artists, Dr. Lowe was around, Terry Thomas and I, we did several shows here trying to bring awareness and culture here to Palm Beach County. And so I've seen a lot of growth over the years, and someone who's been in the education field and see that art has just taken a whole different venue. So I'm very proud of what's going on now, knowing how difficult it was a couple of years ago in the 80s, trying to get money to do something similar to this, and to see where it has gone from now has really given me a great sense of pride, knowing what we had to go through in the 80s to get something like this here in the Army Art Center, or like art anywhere in Palm Beach County. Again, it's not about like art, it's just art, period. So we're just doing what we knew and trying to take it to a higher level, and I still one day would like to see a Black or African museum here in Palm Beach County. And I think it's something that we need. Hopefully someday that will happen within my lifetime. But I'm glad I kind of got away from it over the years. Glad to get back into it, thanks to Anthony and Trina, and see what they're doing have given me a great sense of pride, and saying that the Cultural Council and Army Art Center all are getting involved. You didn't see that in the 80s. It was a hard thing to try to get going, so I see there's a lot of growth here in Palm Beach County, so it's a wonderful thing. And also someone who wanted to do art in the 80s, back in those days, you see your parents say there's no money in art, child, go study biology, become a doctor, So I wasted 2 years, not say wasted, I don't want to go there, so let me
that.
Kind of, yeah, thank you. I wanted to do marine biology, so even back then in the 80s, as an African American who wanted to do marine biology, I couldn't find that venue to pursue that. So, but art was always a part of me, so I struggled with it, and after 2 years of in college studying biology, which I love, you know, I decided to go and do art and pursue that. I didn't have the funds to do that for a master's in arts, etc., but I also wanted to design cars, model cars out of clay, which my son is now doing. Not necessarily car, but he's studying industrial design. And being a coordinator at Bach Middle School of the Arts, I see these wonderful things that these children are doing, and see kids out there designing shoes, in the fashion business. You know, art is an everyday part of our life, you know, from the clothes we wear, which is a multi-billion-dollar business, from the walls that, you know, your house is made of, you know, architects. So, to see kids pursuing that, you know, not everybody's going to be an art, even doctors, you know, not every doctor necessarily work with the human body. You have doctors that illustrate books, that do drawings, or they create the artificial hearts, or they design artificial legs. So your teeth, you know, when you talk about dentistry, you know, you have dentists that design or recreate what your mouth is going to look like. So I will see art as a part of life, and it's a wonderful thing. So that's about it. I'm just glad to see the growth here in Palm Beach County, and hope that it will continue to grow into bigger and better things.
I don't know what we like in art. We have a complete mix of disciplines here. You know, we've got fiber, jewelry, photography, painting, pottery. What attracts people to art? What do you think? We're here talking about black art, and it makes me think about, like, what is black music? You know, who listens to black music? Who buys black art? Which is everybody. But what do you think attracts people to art? What is it they see? What do you do to attract people to your work?
Okay, and the way I attract people is this, or as everybody knows Anzingah, so I'm just using it. He said there's two people involved with art. Let's call it visual art. It's the artist and the viewer. Okay? So what is your obligation? What is my obligation as an artist? And what is your obligation as a viewer? And between those two things, we're going to connect. And I try to do this. If I have an audience such as yourself, because I'm sure you're very educated, aware, and astute to art, that's a given. The point is, I have to make my point. If you're coming to see art as you know it, as you believe in it, I'm going to have to satisfy you. So how do I do that? Okay, first, I have to be innovative. The second, I have to be communicative. The third, I have to give you a quality presentation. Now, on your part, you have to understand the culture, my culture, the culture of art, and that particular medium. You have to understand the time in which that photograph, or I'm a photographer, somebody is a photographer. You have to understand that time in which that photograph was taken, the space in which it was taken, and also have a knowledge of the medium. So between those two things, we're going to connect. If I'm doing my job and you're doing your job as doing the research or whatever of painting, sculpting, the disciplines, it can even get into choreography and get into music. If you're doing that, you're coming to that place where that is being presented, then we will connect somehow, because we're speaking the same language. But if you come in and you're not aware, you're not astute, you just come in to get the wine and the cheese, then you're not going to connect with me. Then I'm going to explain it to you. So the thing is that if you come in with your part and I come in with my part, then we will connect. And that's what I try to do, as far as appealing to other people, because I do it for my satisfaction first, and I'm hoping to keep that a high quality. So the person that comes in astute can connect with me. Whether they like painting or sculpting, they can also connect with me, because I'm a music major too. You can connect with me with music too. You can connect in any art discipline, any medium, if you have that quality. That is being aware of the culture, the time, and having knowledge of the medium.